Hello students, welcome to first PUC computer science class. So, you have just completed your high school and joined PUC. But you have studied about computers in your school days. So, in your school days, what you have studied about computers? You have studied about Paint, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Baraha and etc. You also know that you can also play games in computer. You can also watch movies, you can listen to music, and you can also download anything from the internet through computers. So this is what you can do with computers. Nowadays, we see computers everywhere. Not only in school labs, in your homes, even in schools, even in different shops, banks, offices and many other places. If you go to buy a dress in a dress shop, in billing section, we see a computer and the cashier will enter some details to computer while making your bill. You can see the picture in a dress shop where a computer is used. If you go to supermarket, after you buy things, in billing the cashier will show all the items to some device and that item's amount will display in the computer and later the bill will be given to you. Even in railway station or bus booking centers also, even in the movie ticket booking, you might see they select your seat seeing the computer. Now, if you go to hospital, your details are taken by receptionist who sits in front of the computer and they enter your details to computer. So, in the whole world, people have started to use computers in daily life. Now you have selected computer science. You might think, what are you going to study in this subject as it is a new subject to you? So, in your first PUC, computer science, you will be studying about how you can work with computer and how the computer works. In this class, we will start the first chapter of the first PUC computer science textbook, that is overview of a computer. In this chapter, we will study about the origin of the computer, which means who founded computer and how it got modified and how it is developing. We will also see the various types and where the computer is used. Now, first let's see what is computer. Computer is an electronic machine that can store, recall and process data. It can perform tasks or complex calculations according to a set of instructions or programs. So, how does the computer work? It is as simple as making a tea. To prepare tea, we add water, tea powder, milk and sugar. These are all considered as input. After adding all, we have to boil. That boiling is called as processing. After boiling, we get the tea and that is called as output. In the same way, the computer also works based on input, processing and output. And you can see various input devices, that is keyboard, mouse, etc. And processing will be done in central processing unit, that is CPU, and output will be given through monitor or printer. And this process is called input process output cycle or IPO cycle. We will study about this in detail. Now let's see the characteristics of a computer. There are various characteristics of a computer, that is speed, storage, accuracy, diligence, versatility, flexibility, cost effectiveness. What is speed? the computer works very fast. The speed of a computer is measured in terms of Mbps or BIPS. That is, MIPS is million instructions per second and BIPS is billion instructions per second. For example, a money counting machine counts money faster than man. So you can see a money counting machine, and if you put money inside that, it counts faster than the normal person counts. So in the same way, the computer works faster than the human being. The next characteristic is storage. A computer can store a large volume of data and information. The storage capacity of the computer is measured in terms of bytes. A group of 8 bits is called a byte. So you can store a large amount of data in computer. You can store 1 GB, 2 GB, 300 GB, 500 GB, 1 TB of data in different types of computers. Next is accuracy. The accuracy generated results are exact and without any mistakes with high rate of consistency. Here, the computer doesn't do any mistakes. It will be accurate. If a calculation is done by the human being and the calculation done by the computer, if we compare, human being might make a mistake, but the computer doesn't make any mistake. And the next is diligence. Unlike human beings, a computer doesn't suffer from limitations like tiredness and lack of concentration. It can work for hours without making any errors. So, human beings, if they work continuously for more than 5 to 6 hours, then they'll get tired. They have to take a break, they have to have something, or they have to take rest. But the computer doesn't take any rest. It can work continuously for many hours and it doesn't make any mistake even if it works at the first time or throughout for hours. That is, if a man is working for more than 5 hours and at last what happens, he'll get tired and the work won't be the same how he had started. But the computer, it doesn't do that way. It do the work in a same way. Next is versatility. Computers are capable of performing any task. Multiprocessing features of computer make it quite versatile in nature. The computer can be adapted to any field easily. It is used for scientific calculations, business processing, for playing games, teaching, training, etc. Here, versatility means capable of performing any task. If a doctor can only do anything related to his subject, he cannot go and repair a vehicle. But the computer, it can also play the music, it can also allow you to watch the movies, it can also do the calculations, it can also use for scientific, business and any kind of a task. So, versatility means it can perform any type of task. That is multiprocessing features. The next is flexibility. Flexibility would involve the number of things you can do with the computer. While some are best used for simple business tasks and filing of tasks, others are good for multimedia, gaming and so on. So here, using computer, we can do many number of things and there are different types of computers. Some are very good at gaming and some are very good at multimedia. And the next is cost effectiveness. Computers reduce the amount of paperwork and human effort, thereby reducing cost. So, the characteristic of computer is cost effectiveness, that is, it reduces the cost induced. That is, if you are using a human being, we have to pay them a lot of money, but the computer doesn't take you any money, only you have to pay only while buying the computer. Next, let's see the components of a computer system. There are 4 components of the computer system, that is hardware, software, data and user. Hardware, it is a physical part of the computer system. Hardware components can be seen, touch and feel. So we can also touch the hardware components. We can feel the hardware components and we can also see the hardware components. The hardware components are fixed inside or outside the computer system. The example of hardware components is keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, CPU, etc. Software. A set of collection of programs is known as software. So it is a collection of programs or set of programs. The software is a computer program written using some computer programming language to operate the computer. Software tells the hardware what to do. Unlike hardware, we can't touch the software. So we cannot touch the software. Whatever the software says, that the hardware will do. Example of software is operating system, office packages and all the softwares, computer games, Paint, Excel, all those softwares are examples of software. The next is data. Data is a collection of unprocessed items which can include text, numbers, audio, video. Data is the raw information or basic facts that computer can process. The computer processed data is called information, which gives particular meaning. So it is some facts. It can be any value, it can be video, audio, anything what we give to the computer. After processing, what we get will be the output or it will be the information. The processed data is known as information. And the last is users. We studied about hardware, software and data, but to use the computer, the main requirement is user. Without user, no one can use the computer. So users are the people who use the computers. These computers, operators are also called as users. So those who make the computer, those who operate the computer, they are also the users, and those who use the computer, they are also the users. Now let's see the software. So software is a set of programs or collection of programs. There are 2 classifications in software. There are 2 types, that is system software and application software. So system software, it is a type of computer program that is designed to control and work with the computer hardware to run hardwares and application programs. So system software means it is designed to run the computer system itself. That is Microsoft Windows, Linux. And application software is, it is a type of software written by the user to perform particular tasks like drawing a picture, playing computer games, etc. So there are 2 types of software. One is system software and the other is application software. System software is, it is designed to make the computer work, or it is designed to make the hardware and other applications of the computer to work. Application software is the one, it is designed by the user to make particular task, to perform some task. It can be playing games, it can be watching music, movies, drawing a picture, any other task. Now let's see what is the difference between hardware and software. So hardware is a physical component of a computer and software is a set of programs. Hardware we can touch, we can feel and we can see. The software we cannot touch and feel. Hardware is constructed using physical materials or components. But the software is developed by the programming language. What is programming language? We will see in our further classes. Not affected by computer virus. The hardware devices won't be affected by any of the computer viruses. But the software packages or the software programs will be affected by the computer viruses. User cannot make copies. User can make copies. The hardware devices, user cannot copy it. Like one mouse will be there, you cannot do one more mouse. But the software packages or software programs, the user can copy and repaste and make one more copy of it. The example of hardware is monitor, keyboard, RAM. The example of software is operating system, NUDI software, NUDI application, text editors, that is Notepad, and all the browsers, Chrome, Firefox, etc. Now let's see the functional components of a computer system. The computer accepts the data and program as input. So as an input, computer takes the data and programs. It stores the data, program and retrieve as and when required. So first component is, or first step is, what does the computer do at first? It takes the input, and input can be data or programs or anything. Data can be text, video, music, audio, anything. And after taking the data, it will store the data, it will store the programs, and it can retrieve whenever it needed. It can use it whenever it needs. Process the data as per instructions given by the program and convert it into useful information. So when the processing is used to happen, what happens? The data will be taken and it will be converted to information as per the instructions given. That is, there will be a program or there will be an instruction from the CPU that is processing, and it will say what the data should be modified into, and that will be done and it will be processed, and the output given will be a information. And next, communicate the information as output, and at last this information, whatever is obtained, it is given as output. Now let's see the block diagram of a computer. The computer is designed using 4 basic units, that is input unit, central processing unit CPU, memory unit and output unit. You can see the block diagram. And in central processing unit, there are 2 units, that is control unit and arithmetic and logic unit. The block diagram of a computer means how does the computer work or how does the computer is arranged. So here what happens? The data can be a text, it can be video, it can be a movie, it can be a music, anything will be given as input. Input will be taken by the keyboard or mouse, and this input, it will be, you can see one arrow has gone to storage unit, it will be stored, and one more is dotted line is for central processing unit. So this data, whatever is taken as input, it will be stored in the storage unit, where there are 2 types, secondary storage and primary storage. Secondary storage is the storage space which is in the computer itself, and primary storage is the storage place which is in the computer itself. Secondary storage is additional storage devices such as pen drives, if you put pen drives, or if you put mobile connectors or hard disk, CDs, DVDs, that will be the secondary storage. And once it is stored, the CPU will ask for the data, it will request for the data. You can see from the central processing, one arrow has gone to storage unit and one more arrow has come from the storage unit. So the data which is stored in the storage unit will be asked by the CPU, and CPU will send, the storage unit will send the data. Once the data is processed, the data is again sent back to the storage unit and it will be stored there. And later, through the output unit, the processed information, the data which will be processed and later it is known as information, it will be given through the output unit. Now output unit can be monitor, printer, etc. For example, if we give text. Text means now in Word we will type something. So typing will be done through keyboard. So all the characters we type and that will be our input. That will be a text input. Then this will be stored in some place in the computer. And we want to print that data. What happens when you want to print? The processor will ask the storage device to process that data, and once it is processed through the printer, you will get the print copy of that data. That is what will be done in the inside the computer, and it is explained in the block diagram of a computer. Now let's see the input unit, central processing unit, memory unit and output unit in detail. So the input unit. Computers need to receive data and instructions in order to solve the problem. The input unit performs this operation. The input unit basically links the external world or environment to the computer system. The input unit may consist of one or more input devices. The keyboard and mouse of a computer are most commonly used input devices. Central processing unit. It is the main part of the computer system, like the heart of a human being. Most computers are identified by the type of CPU that is present in them. The function of the CPU is to interrupt the instructions in the program and execute them one by one. It consists of two major units, that is control unit CU and arithmetic and logic unit ALU. The control unit, it controls and directs the transfer of program instructions and data between various units. The main activity of this unit is to maintain order and direct the operations of the entire system. So what does the CPU do? CPU will process the data. It is like a heart of a human being, heart of the computer or brain of the computer. So all the actions that has to be performed in the computer must be directed as said by the CPU. Whatever CPU says, that will be a input device and the output device, and whatever storage device, all will follow. And there is one control unit inside the CPU. It will control all these actions, all these communications. So whatever happens, transactions happens, that will be controlled by the control unit. And there is one more, arithmetic and logic unit. So in this unit, all the arithmetic and logical operations are performed. It's like arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and logical operations, relational operations, all are carried out in this unit. So you can see the CPU, it is a small chip. It will be placed inside the black box which we call as CPU. This is a CPU is a processor. Next is output unit. It is used to print or display the results which are stored in the memory unit. The actual function of the output unit is just to reverse the input unit. Whatever the input unit does, reverse of that will be done by the output unit. Thus, the output unit links the computer to the outside world. The input unit links the outside world to the computer. The output unit links the computer to the outside world. The monitor and the printer are the most commonly used output devices. And there are various other also, speakers, plotters. So these are the various other output units. So in this class we studied about what is computer, what are the characteristics of the computer, and what are the components of the computer, and the block diagram of the computer. We will stop this class here only, and we'll continue this class in the next class. Thank you.